Last year, the culvert you see behind me breached twice, which means the water that was running down got to be too high and it went over the culvert and washed out the road. Which is bad news, because when the road washes out bad enough, you cannot drive on it. It just digs these really deep trenches and it becomes impassable. So we definitely don't want that to happen going forward. Now, my original plan was to actually remove this culvert, replace it with a larger one, and then also replace the next culvert down the road with a larger one to help more water to be able to get through there without it breaching. However, after talking things over with one of my neighbors, we suspect that the problem might actually have been that the trench just on the other side of this culvert, the one for my driveway, was kind of blocked and not big enough and not able to get enough water flow so that it was backing up and actually creating the backup in the culvert as well. So before I go tearing out this culvert in my driveway, which is a real pain in the ass if I had to do it, we're going to try cleaning out this trench behind the culvert and put some rocks in there. You build these like little rock waterfalls, or rock dams, I mean, to be able to kind of slow the water down as it flows. And between deepening the trench a little bit, cleaning it out, and putting those rock walls in there, I'm hoping that that'll create the kind of water flow along this entire trench that will keep me from having to replace this culvert. Me a couple hours, but with the help of a neighbor and my mini excavator, I was able to get this portion of the ditch below my culvert completely reshaped. I think it's going to work very well. And I have to say, I'm very satisfied with how it turned out. It looks kind of like a professional job. And I can tell you that if I had tried to do this back when I first purchased my mini excavator, it would not have come out nearly as nice. I've got about 100 hours of operator time on that machine now. And whereas in the beginning, I had to think very carefully about every single move I wanted to make, and the movements were kind of sloppy and took forever. Now it's much more natural. It's much more like the bucket and the arm are just an extension of my body. I don't have to think so hard. I can just kind of imagine how I want it to move, and it'll just do it. My hands will just do the right work. And that means that I can, do these more fine-grained movements and shape this ditch here in a way that I think looks pretty nice. So that handles this portion of the work below the culvert, but above the culvert, I think there's still one more thing I do want to do to keep it from breaching when we get high volumes of water. And it's quite simply the same thing that happened on the lower side where I put those rock walls in. So a few rock walls in the main ditch alongside the road and a couple more in the contributing ditch that comes down and meets the main ditch on the road, I think will help to slow the water down as it comes down the hill and hopefully prevent any water breaching from the top side of that culvert.